Con man, Omar, you got some work cut out for you for the rest of this offseason. You've been off to a great start to this offseason so far, but now let's really see if he can seal the deal with this being probably the best offseason that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had, and if he has, one more big move up his sleeve. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is down in the box below. So the Steelers this offseason still have a little over $16 million in cap, and some of the big questions remain with the Steelers is that what are they going to do, with that $16 million? Do they make one more? Does Omar Khan go over and make one more big move, or do they roll it over into next year? Well, there are a lot of opportunities that the Steelers can do with this money right here. And number one, I mean, you take a look at all the extension options that the Steelers have on the table. Like Cam Hayward and like Najee Harris. I put videos about that a couple weeks ago. Or maybe Omar Khan can use that money to go all in and get that wide receiver to really solidify and complement George Pickens. Now, the Steelers have never really been known for going all in during the offseason or free agency, at least when Kevin Colbert was GM here. But like I said, this offseason, it's just been booming for the Steelers. And when free agency began, you got a sense that things were going to be different with Omar Khan being the GM. And definitely things were, because if 2023 was any indicator of how this front office and how this franchise was going to be set going forward with Omar Khan, I think 2024 just complements it really well. So maybe now that because they got the free agent acquisitions and because they drafted well, in my opinion, there could be one more big move that could be in the works for the Steelers right here. Now, Omar Khan did come out and say that when Alex Highsmith got restructured, it was mainly because that he wanted to explore all his options, and that was the main reason why a big move didn't happen earlier. He wanted to keep that money at the deadline, and he wanted to see what other options were available if the Steelers weren't utilizing that money according to him. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because that's why the Steelers have been kind of quiet for a couple months now. But I just see it as, he's still in that phase where he is looking at everything that's available. He is exploring the options, and he's been trying to contact some people. Look at Russell Wilson and look at Justin Fields going forward. That's a big example of what I'm talking about right here, because we all know the quarterback situation for the Steelers was as bad as it could feasibly have gotten, going into last season, where you had Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph as your quarterback room. All three of those guys are not Steelers anymore, okay? But you take a look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is here as a bridge guy. I don't anticipate him to be the franchise starter for the next half decade or so. He has the potential to be that, but you look at Russell Wilson. I mean, he's in his mid-30s. I wouldn't call him washed up, but I would say that he's more in that journeyman phase right now, where he can still be productive. Who knows? Maybe he is washed up, and maybe he shows that he was part of the problem in Denver. I don't think he was the whole problem in Denver, but Russ has clearly shown that he still has some gas left in the tank, and that's why he's here. Enter Justin Fields. You get a young quarterback who's in his early 20s. He was he was set up for failure in Chicago, and you got a dynamic guy who's a quarterback who has a good arm. He just lacks accuracy, in my opinion. And while I may not be a big fan of Justin Fields, I'm certainly going to hope he does well for the time that he's in Pittsburgh. Okay? So that's why Justin Fields is here. We don't know for sure if Russell Wilson is here to groom him, And we don't know for sure if Russell Wilson is here to mentor him. That's what people assume is what's going to happen with that quarterback room. But be it with free agency or be it with the QB room going in 2025 and beyond that, the point is the Steelers have the money to be able to fix necessary needs. And if Russell Wilson and or Justin Fields show that, you know what, they're just not the right quarterback for this franchise going forward, the Steelers have their backup plan with that, which is either go for another free agent quarterback in the near future or draft another guy. Because Russell Wilson is virtually no loss for us if he doesn't pan out. Neither is Justin Fields. Denver is paying the majority of Russell Wilson's salary, and we don't absolutely have to pick up Justin Fields' fifth option or a fifth-year option. So we're in really good shape financially than what a lot of people give us credit for and what a lot of people think. Now, as far as the receivers go, I'm not going to, sit down here and spit nickels about Brandon Ayuk, but I will say this about Brandon Ayuk. Is it really worth adding that big of a piece to your wide receiver room? Or are they just doing it for the sake of doing it? Okay? Just because Brandon Ayuk's a big name guy in the free agent market and a lot of teams have been after him, is it really worth it to lose draft capital? And is he really going to be that part of the team that makes a deep Super Bowl run as far as the receivers go? Now, maybe a negotiation still needs to be made with him. I don't know the full details about it, okay? But ask yourselves this. Is it really worth it in the grand scheme of things to lose draft capital just because you have the money to do so? Okay? As much as I would like Brandon Ayuk here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm also looking at this from both ends of the spectrum. Ayuk's a great player. He's a good receiver. I think he can complement Pickens well. But I don't know if Omar Khan is ready to sacrifice those futures that the Steelers are so well known for keeping. But yeah, I mean, you got $16 million in cap space to work with, Omar. Main point of this video, you're off to the great start, and now punctuate on it. Get it together, Kahn, man. And let's see some more moves being made before the season starts. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.